Sorry about that. If you've been following us for sometimes now, you will know that some of us here in the studios feel strongly when it comes to topics such as infidelity or cheating. But you also know that I personally don't believe that cheating is a deal breaker in a relationship. And I'm going to tell you why. Please don't tell my husband. The reason why cheating is not a deal breaker for me is because I value the well being of my children over mine. And when it comes to love, even though I am a very sensitive person, I don't use emotion. I'm not very emotional. So this is my thinking process, right? Let's assume that my husband cheats and I choose to leave him. And of course, I take my children with me because if I'm leaving, I'm taking my children. And 1 year later, or maybe 2 years later, I decide that, hey, I'm ready to find love. I'm ready for a new relationship. Now, I will find myself with two problems. The problem that I ran away from was infidelity. But in the back of my mind, in this new relationship, I've been thinking, is this man different from the one I just left? Is this man gonna be faithful to me? That would be my first problem because that I don't know. It's commonly said that to err is human. We're still living on this earth and we are gonna face imperfection. So that would be my first concern. The second one would be, is this man gonna love my children? So you see, I ran away from one problem. Let's assume that my husband cheated and wanted to work things out and was really repentant. But I decided that, oh no, how dare he doing that to me? I left him. Now I'm facing two problems. Is this man going to be faithful to me? Is he going to love my children? Is he going to accept my children the same way that the loving husband that I left, like he was loving to my children? Is he going to accept my children the same way? So, because I don't like stress in my life, I would rather face one problem, deal with one problem, and hopefully resolve it than facing two. That's my thinking process. Don't come for me. Our story of today, even though it doesn't exactly reflect the scenario that I just depicted, can relate to it. Today, the story is from a single mom. I mean, she was single, but now she's married. But her issue is not infidelity. Her big problem right now that she's dealing with is the unacceptance of her child in this marriage. Her husband called her child a bastard. So, we are going to dive into it together. But after I welcome my co host and my co coaches in the studio. Welcome. My name is Michelle D. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. And also, if you're following on other platforms, please follow. Thank you so much. Comment, let us know that you're here. All right. Welcome, guys. Welcome. All right, guys. I am gonna welcome Miss Elise on the. Hi, Miss Elise.
Good morning, Coach Michelle. How you doing?
I am doing wonderful. How are you?
Doing great, thank you. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to you. Hi,
Thank
Sibi.
you.
Hi, ma'am. Happy Sunday. How
Happy
are you
Sun.
doing?
I am doing wonderful. Happy Sunday to you. And I see that Luke is in the studio as well. And guys, in the comment section, happy Sunday to you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for commenting already. I see the comment section is busy with comments. I see AJ is here. Um, Netizen Global is here. Mercy Kendra is here. Happy Sunday to everyone. And sorry if I haven't mentioned your name. I will greet you in a little bit. So, guys, let's dive into our story without any further ado. I am gonna I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger so that we can read it together. Okay. Luke, please, if you can remove the comment from the screen so that we can all read through together. All right, so let's dive into it. She said, I am married and working, but my husband and his family are trying to break me down mentally. My uncles refused to let me marry my son's father for reasons I still don't know. Instead, they married me off to my current husband. He has custody of his children and also took my son from my mother, saying it was best for all the kids to grow up together. At first, I agreed because that is what any mother will want. But now I am struggling. My husband openly discriminates against my son. His children adore me and get along well with my boy, but he makes constant distinctions. Whenever I shop, I buy for all four kids equally. But when he shops, he only buys for his three. He even calls them one by one to hand things to them, excluding my son. Thankfully, since their mother raised them to share, they always divide what they get with my child. I have confronted him about this many times, but nothing changed. The last straw was during back to school season. My mom sent me money for my son's father for school fees. My husband came home complaining he didn't have enough money for the children's fees. I told him not to worry about my son since I already has his covered. He insisted I give him the money so he could pay for all four together. I trusted him and gave it to him, only to later discover while organizing the receipts that he had already fully paid for his three children, but only made the minimum payment for mine. When I confronted him, he insulted me terribly. He said marrying me and taking in my bastard son was a favor, and that giving him the money was the least I could do. That broke me. I packed up my son and moved to my late father's house. Now, my husband is gathering family meetings and spreading lies about me. My uncles are threatening me with curses if I don't return. I have realized that the reason he wanted my son with us was so I would feel obligated to provide for his children too. I never minded caring for all four because I love them. But today, it is clear that he does not want what's best for my son. The painful part is my family still insists that I return to my matrimonial home. Coach, what would you do if you were in my place? All right, guys, that is the story. Miss Elise, Sebi, look, anyone has a question or is it clear? Guys, please like. I don't see a lot of like going. Like, please, please, please. It's quiet in the studio. Miss
No, it's
Elise,
not. I thought you wanted to ask a question.
no, I was just asking, is the story clear? Is there any question? Any is it clear?
It's clear, crystal clear.
It's
Okay,
clear,
good.
man. It's clear.
Good, good, good. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna start by asking that when marrying someone, let's kind of go back, to the basics. When marrying someone, do you automatically take full responsibility for their children as your own? or should there be any boundaries? I'm going to start with you, CB.
Ma, I didn't get your question, ma.
When marrying someone
Hello?
who has when marrying someone who has children, do you automatically take full responsibility of their kids, or should there be like any boundaries?
Thank you very much, ma.
I feel like it's really
Automatically
messy.
taking over. I don't think that's the word I'll use. I think we should have a shared responsibility for that child. That's, for example, if you're punishing the child, let the child know that we are both punishing the child. Let it not feel like it's just coming from me or it's just coming from the dad. Let the child just know that, okay, we are both raising him or her together. So I feel like even if you're trying to take care of that child or be responsible for that child as a parent, there are limits to the things you can do. You know, children, stepchildren, sometimes they can rebel. They can end up telling you stuff like, you are not my mom or you're not my dad, so you can ask me to do this or do that. So there's a lot of work that you're going to have to do as parents, combined. There's a lot. It's complicated and it's not easy, and it will take years to actually get to that point where the child is going to recognize your authority over them, especially if you're not coming with this most step parents, not all of them actually have a good heart. Some of them are evil or just plain wicked. So that's why sometimes kids resist their authority. So I feel like it's a lot of work. How do you approach these kids? Do you approach them like you're trying to replace their parents, or you're approaching them like, you know what, I care about you, okay, and I want you to be okay. So I'm just going to be here for you. The mistake most people make is trying to replace the parents that child does not have, maybe the mother or the father. So I just feel like there should be a limit until you get to that point where that child can trust you enough to say, okay, you know what, if my mom says I shouldn't do this, then I shouldn't do it. That's just my own 2 cents. Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
I like that you kind of took it in a different angle when you said that you like there has to be some limitation in the way that you correct that child, and I mean you have to like be mindful of the way you approach correction, and
Yes,
you
ma'am. At
yes
the beginning, yes, until that
yeah.
child gets to recognize your authority, that's when you can maybe go all the
Okay.
way.
Now I want to talk about our mindset. Like, even though you know that you have to be very careful in your approach. You have to be very mindful in your approach. But do you at least get yourself into that mindset set that this is my child? Like, let's assume you're still single, CB. Let's assume you meet a man who has like 2 kids. Do you at least go in that marriage with the mindset that I am the mom? And that just coming from that loving place, because especially we ladies, the moment that is your child, I was explaining to my daughter the other day that liking and loving is different. And sometimes liking is even better because when you have a child, you might love them, but you don't like them because of their behavior or their personalities. But it's better to love and to like. So if you go in that relationship with the mindset that I love these children, they are my children, you see already that whatever you do will be coming from that place of love, and even correction will resonate in a different way because it's coming from that place that these are my children. And that's what I want us to talk about. I'm going to go to you, Miss Elise. Do you go in with that mindset that these are my children and I love them regardless of anything that happens?
Well, Coach Michelle, this is a tough one though. Um, you can love Well, like your own children is not possible, but you can love them, you know. Um, if someone, if you want to marry someone, you have to make sure that the child is involved in the relationship so that there will be no surprises, right? And if you feel like you're being accepted and the character of your partner is like teaming up with your own ideas and vision, you go ahead and marry the person because you know that the child will be able to submit because of the other partner's assistance. But if you notice that the partner is like, is my child, if my child is not our child, then you let it go. You don't marry the person. Because if you force yourself, it doesn't matter how much you love that child, it will never work. You just have a frustrated life for the you just have a frustrated marriage. You will never be happy in that marriage. So it depends. It depends on the partner you are with. If they discipline the child enough to realize that you are the mom, the new mom, you're not replacing anybody. It didn't work out with them. It's not your business. Okay. You are now in here for a new life. And you have no accountability to give to no child. It's either they're a child or they're a parent. So your partner will make you understand who that child is. If that child is ruling their lives, my sister, check out. But if they are ruling that child's life and they have authority and presence and they can put that child in their place and that child listens to them, then you marry them. But if that child is rebellious towards them and there's nothing they can do about it, and you see them failing in parenting, my dear, you don't want a failure now, a failure daddy that cannot parent your own children. Means that as he has failed on that one, he will fail on your own. So you just have like two children to train. Can you train two children? I don't have time for that too. So for me, no need. Look at the beginning of the relationship. If it doesn't work for you, don't enter in that relationship. And for this lady, she made a mistake. I don't know in which world they marry people to people. I don't know. They force people to marry people. Well,
Hold on to that thought. My big sister is in the comment. Janine, merci d'être ici, s'il te plaît, partage. Okay. You're saying that you don't know which world people get married to other people. Remember 2 weeks ago, you were
no, no, no. In which world where parents force you to marry someone?
your parents have their say. You remember you said here that your parents have their say in who you marry, and if you love someone and your parents are not okay with you marrying that person, then it's over. And I
Yeah,
believe
the problem. Yeah, the problem is that your parents don't choose a partner for you, but your parents can advise not to marry someone because of certain specific reasons, right? Now
that's
your
exactly what
parents,
happened here.
yes. No, now the problem is that she's married to someone that has three kids. Obviously, her parents don't love her. You cannot have one child and go and marry someone that has three kids. That's already, that like, maybe that man has money or there's something going on between the relate. There's diplomacy, there's politics going on because no parent will want the daughter that has one child to go and marry one that has three children. I don't think it makes sense. And for the man from the beginning to hate the woman's child and the parents are supporting the man, my dear, this is weapon fashion against her. This is not good. It doesn't smell right.
Thank you.
It doesn't smell right.
Look, I don't know if you can contribute now. What are your thoughts about getting in a relationship with someone who has in a marriage, because this is more than relationship, with someone who has a child? Do you believe that you should go in with the mindset that this is my child? The Bible said that love covers a multitude of sins. The moment that you put in your mind that this is mine, I'm gonna love this child, you see already that you're gonna relate to that child in a different way from that place of love. So, what is your take on this, look?
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Good evening, CB, Miss Elise. Good evening, everybody in the comment section. Good evening. First of all, I would like to say that before going into marriage with somebody that has a child, a single mom, for example, I feel it should be talked about between the two people. They should have an understanding of what they are going into. That's first of all. That's what I believe. And I also feel that if the man in question is going to love or get married to a single mom, I feel he should also love the child. He should also love the child. And it takes process for that child to love you. Even if, even if the mother loves you, I feel it takes time for the child to come around you. So you have to be very you have to so you have to uh, take your time with the child to try to get around with you. And I want to also say this also. I think I've said it here before. This our show some time ago that especially African parents is very rare, though they can agree with it. It's very rare that you see an African parent who allow his son, let me say his son, for example, to go into marriage with a single mom. It's very rare. It might be happening, I don't know, but it's very rare for them to allow it to their son or their daughter to marry a single dad or a single mom because something like this happened in my area, in my neighborhood here. Said it before. The man went to marry a single mom. His family they told him to divorce the woman or they're going to disown him. And family comes first, or which he did. He divorced the woman and the child divorced the woman. They were married in court before, but he divorced her and went to marry, and is getting married again to another person. So I feel that the man must love the woman's child. Is getting married to. That's what I feel. Thank you, ma.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Luke. So we not like you said in Africa, family matters, and but it's the tough one. But you also agree that once you marry that person with a child, you have to take that child like yours. It's hard, but you have to take that child like yours. But let's get in the issue at hand right now. Before I do that, I saw in a comment section that I think that was from Nativism Global. He said that he was raised by a stepmom and life wasn't easy for him. It was very tough. But he said that he is pleased that she treated him the way she did because it made him to become the person that he is today. So that gives out a lot of resilience. I can see that there was a lot of hardship and a lot of resilience. And only this week I was seeing in the news coming from Cameroon of kids being like mistreated to the extreme from like step parents, or from aunts. There's just like Miss Elise said earlier that you cannot love them like your own children. I don't know if I agree with that because I'm like, a child is a child. It doesn't matter if it's your sister child, if it's your neighbor child. The moment that that child is entrusted under your care, you owe it to yourself, you owe it to God to love that child as if your life depend on it, especially a small child. That's why I always said to myself before when I was even so single that if I'm gonna marry someone who had children, I will prefer the kids are so little because how harmful can a small child be? You get to raise them the way you want. You get to love them. You get to teach them what love is about. You got to model that example to them. But it's still
Well,
back
Coach
on my mind. It's
Michelle.
still back on my mind that some people will get married to someone and mistreat like a 5-year-old child. I'm like, come on, this is ridiculous. What world are we living in? What can a 5-year-old do to you that will make you not love them? And when I say loving them, it doesn't even matter what his father does. Like I'm a woman, if I marry a man, and even if that man was to do something wrong to me, I wouldn't like punish the kids for it because this is an angel and that child has nothing to do in whatever is going on with his dad or even his mom, his biological mom. You do not have to make him pay for that. That is just me, guys. But Miss Elise, you were gonna say something.
Well, I would say it still depends, Coach Michelle. It still depends on the training because you want to be in pair, you want to be a team with the father of this child. If not, it will not work. It doesn't matter how much you create that love, it will not work. So let's focus on things that we can manage in order to avoid chaos
Yeah, but I'm
and
still,
live.
I'm still having a little bit issue with that, Miss Ellie, because if you get in there with the if this man behave good, if this man treats me well, if it depends of how, so that means I would love this child if this man does well by me. I'm like, I don't
You
know.
know, Coach Michelle,
Yes,
uh, you love every child, right?
yes, ma'am.
Everybody, you owe everybody love. But you know, taking in someone else's blood without the support of the blood owner is hard. It's very hard. If a woman has a children, for example, and she doesn't train her children to respect the man she wants to get married to and to show him love, do you think this man can even have the willingness to force himself into these children? Because the lack of respect and the refusal and the rejection will make him, even the love he has, he will make him even the love disappear. It will not be an encouragement for him to love them because there's no room. You have to make room for somebody to love you. You have to give access to the person. But if there's no room, there's no access, where can the love be developed? Because we need a space to develop love, right? But if there's rejection, lack of respect, lack of consideration, it doesn't matter how you want to be Jesus, it will not work. Let us be honest here. It will not work. So it depends on how the partner brings it up, how the partner manages it, and then yeah, then it will be fine. But if the everything, all the flexibility is not there, the structure is not there, it will not work.
I
I
understand.
want to, but I can't because I'm not allowed to,
I
because I'm
understand.
not accepted,
Miss
because there's not, yeah.
Miss Elise, I understand where you're coming from. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I understand where you're coming from. My take on this is just that, and this make me smile because I had this some conversation with my oldest child yesterday about him treating his work in a certain way that wasn't right because he doesn't like that work, and I was telling him that as long as you go to that job, you owe it to yourself to give your 100%. You owe it to yourself to appear every morning at that work as if it was the best thing that ever happened to you. That doesn't exclude the fact that you can go in your room afterward and speak to God and say, God, I need a different job. That doesn't exclude the fact that you can start looking for another job. But as long as you carry your whole self to that work, you owe it to you to give 100%. And that's the same thing that I would say in this particular case. As long as I'm in that marriage, as long as I agree to stay married to that person, I owe it to myself, I owe it to God to love the kid 100%. It doesn't matter what is going on or what
Yeah,
is.
yeah. If
And the
yeah, because
moment,
Michelle,
the moment that I feel that this is not right for me anymore, I will secure an exit. But while doing that, I will still continue to love on that child because that child is innocent. That's just me. As long as I'm there,
yeah, 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 yeah. In this case, you're right. When you're already married to the person, for me, I would not even try it. I will not
you
even
won't,
try it.
you wouldn't marry
But
someone who
if
has kids. Is that what you're
no,
saying?
I won't marry someone that cannot train their child, cannot make me to be accepted, cannot give me my place, cannot reinforce my presence before marriage. I will not marry that person.
Okay.
And even if I get married to the person and they start misbehaving, they will behave. Oh. They will behave. They will better behave.
Just like your own
Yes.
children, right? Like you will correct your own
Yeah,
children.
yeah, of course, because there's something like if somebody cannot, like if a man meets a woman with her kids and she don't have authority over those children, they don't listen to her. Me, I'm a man, I will not marry the girl because I feel like I'm in a big mess right here. I will not be respected. There will be nothing I can do if the blood cannot master their own blood. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
if the man cannot train their own children to give you room to be the mother of the house, where are you going to? Where?
All
Ha,
right.
don't try it though.
Now
Mm.
let's dive a little bit more further into the problem at hand. this woman got married to this man, and everything apparently is well between the two of them until the issue of the child. And the child is a little bit younger, and the child is and it's not mentioned anywhere that the child is like rebellious or anything like that. On the contrary, the three other kids, the children, the man's kids, love her child. They all get along so well. These are just innocent kids who love each other. Like he will bring like biscuit and give to his kids, and his kids will call the little one on the side and share with him. So that's the dynamic that is going on in this house. Now, her only issue is that this man is not accepting her child. And she even said that her baby used to live with her mom. The man decided to bring him in just so that he could like have some control over her, you know. And so in this particular case, what would you do? Like choose this child well-being over your marriage? Or CB, how would you manage this situation? Because it's obvious that this man has bad intentions, and it's obvious that he presented a different picture to this woman when she agreed to marry him, because it was like, oh, I love your child, oh, I'm gonna raise them all, we're all gonna raise all the kids as a big family. I don't want your child living at your mom's house. I want all of them to be in the same house, to know each other, to love each other. And she fell for that. She thought, oh my gosh, what a great man. And now she's dealing with this, a lot of distension between the kids. What would be your course of action if you were in her shoes, Sibi? Is Sibi still here? Okay, I don't know. Maybe Sibi is hold on. Let's see. Okay, we lost Sibi. All right, Miss Elise. So, or look, you haven't spoken in a while. What would you recommend if this was your sister? How would you handle this situation?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, you said what I would recommend if I
Yeah.
would choose my child over my husband, my wife. Uh, that's a very tough one, actually. Okay, for me, I think I'm going to choose my child. I'm going to choose my child over any woman or any man. That's me, because that's my blood. That's my blood. I don't see no reason why you love me and you won't love my child. Even though even though I love you, sorry, even though I love you, but my child is very important to me, actually. And that's why I said in the first instance that we are going to talk about it. These things should be talked about before they marry, before they come together. And I think they should have witnesses in place. They should have witnesses in place to look at these things, to scrutinize it. Because if we get into marriage and I see that your advances towards my child is let me say DV, or you dislike my child for no reason, and you love your child, uh and maybe on the opposite, maybe I myself, I love your child, but you are giving the opposite to my child. I don't think I will stay in that relationship or that marriage. 'Cause my child is very important. That's blood. That's blood. That's blood to me. Thank you, ma.
All right. Uh, so look, this also implied that if it was like your sister going through this, you would tell her leave that man. Or would you advise like what the family is doing now? The family is telling her to go back to her husband.
Yes, to me, if it's my sister, you should leave. Yes, because I don't see no reason, because this man knew you had this child before he got married to you. I don't see no reason after your marriage, the child you start hating the child for no reason. Please leave, leave the marriage, please.
Okay. You know, this is making me think of what actually, like I always say here, there's a difference between what is and what is out to be. And I look around me and I see oftentimes, and you guys could attest to this, most women will leave their kids with their family when they, I mean, most single women will leave their kids with their family to go, so that that child don't interfere with their new relationship or their marriage. Especially Africans, we value extended family. So I can see a lot of people also like advising that. I see that CB is back in the studio. Okay. I can already like hear some people, or even most people, especially African people, being like, why don't you just take that kid to back to your mom? That will solve the issue. And I have seen that even with my neighbors growing up in Cameroon. Easy fix. Family just take the kids and everything goes back to order. But Miss Elise, how would you advise? What would be your advice to this woman facing this?
Coach
Because
Michelle,
you see this one who is going through this.
this African culture, they are just bunch of hypocrites and wicked juju flying daytime people or individual. They don't even have whether they use their sense backward. So a man will have 3 kids. He's looking for somebody else to come and raise the children. And they're telling the woman, a man will be saying, I have 3 kids, but I'm looking for a single mother to raise my children. Now, a mother will born her own child. They tell her, give your child to somebody else, but you can go and raise somebody else's children. You people should make it make sense. You are alive, oh. Let me say, don't die. You are alive. Somebody else will be raising your child. And you are willing to go and raise somebody's children, somebody's else children. You want to play mother when your own child is somewhere. Somebody else is mistreating the child, treating the child like rubbish. Like the one that said in the comment section that his stepmother show him shaggy. Thank God he turned out to be good. Just imagine that stepmother for just kill him or use him for sacrifice or just spoil his destiny. Do you know what women can do? Any man, if you have children, man or woman, if your partner is not willing to accept that child in it's your blood. You have to say we are child. If you don't want a man with children, they should go and look for a single father, a man without children. If they meet you, you have children, they know you have children. They know they have to play the role of a mother or the role of a father. If they cannot, because move, just move on. It's wicked for somebody to say, let her bring her child here, but them themselves are raising their own children.
Hmm.
Yes, it's wickedness. It's broad daylight wickedness. I don't know. We will culture all this nonsense culture with no feeling, with no selfish wicked culture. How will you tell a woman that is alive to give her child away to another woman to raise? And how will you be sleeping with her and say I love you? How do you love her? When her mind is flying, has my child eating? How is my child? Is my child okay? She'll be walking on the road and speaking by herself. She'll be worried in her spirit. She'll be here taking care of other people's children, but her child is somewhere. She don't know this children she's taking care of that eating, they're well fed and everything. She don't know whether her child has eaten, if her child is fine. The mental health of a child, the psychology, the are you okay? So a child will know that the mother is somewhere with other people's children, raising them, playing mother figure, playing loving dovey with other people's children. When her child is somewhere with one useless auntie, one wicked soul, differentiating them from their own children when the mother is still alive. People should take it easy. Oh. I don't like this kind. People should not be mentioning all this nonsense. Please, in the name of God, let's talk about human relationship. When it comes to all this people tradition,
You know
culture,
what, Miss Elise?
people should put it in the pocket because it's evil. There's nothing good about it. All these culture that were created were against women. Everything in favor of men. The man will have 3 kids. He's loving 3 kids. The woman is loving his children. And I don't even know. There's a problem, Coach Michelle. See, this man is not even financially stable. She's the one even nurturing his children. How can you be a single mom? You go and marry a poor man? Single women should never marry poor men. If you cannot take care of her and her children, get out because she has bills, she has responsibility. So she's the one now bringing her own salary to take care of his 3 bastards. and she's doing it willingly and lovingly. But she even take money and give him, go and pay school fees. He will take it and eat half and go and give half. Useless man, brain you not get, character you not get, spirit you not get. That this man is not even marriable. She should leave him. She should leave him. And if the family member love him, after giving her, now they can find another person and replace her. What was the problem? They are givers now. They are selecting family selections. That is they selecting who to. They should send that uncle that want her to go. He has daughters. They should choose one of the daughters. The daughter should go there and let this girl have peace. So she should leave. She has enough money now. She has been taking care of his children. Three. Imagine three.
Yeah, and not just that, the father of her child seemed like a good person. He
And
goes
he's
to
even sending money and everything.
the
My
mom
my
house,
my
he gives the money for his child.
coach Michelle, there's no problem. She can stay single with her child, divorce this nonsense man. God will send her another man. Is marriage by force? Is this one self husband? When they count husband, can you count this one as a husband? A man that is financially broke, spiritually broke, emotionally broke.
Thank
This
you,
man,
Mr.
if you check very well, this man is a bastard. I think he's a bastard. He didn't have a mother or a father. He lacked love. He lacked empathy. He lacked everything. This man is empty, empty vessel. No wonder his wife abandoned him with three kids. No wonder, useless man. This man, they should leave him alone. He's not worthy to be a father. Oh, what a character.
Miss
I
Elise,
beg Coach Michelle.
I like that you spoke directly to single mothers and you empower them and you tell them do not, especially if you have enough means to take care of yourself and your children, be very selective when it comes.
Very, very selective.
uh,
Very, very.
yes, I like that you're empowering because someone mentioned in the comment, Julia, that some women will go to the extent of hiding their kids just to get in that relationship. I have seen stories like that. These are things that happen every day. Maybe you're a single mother out there and you maybe considering doing that too. You feel like maybe your kids are an obstacle to you finding love. Please have a change of heart because your kids are a blessing, especially. And if you're not financially sound, maybe your main concern should be to find a partner, but get yourself to a place where you can take care of your children and just carry those kids like a crown because they are your crown, and be very mindful of who you associate with. Don't compromise, right? Because at the end of the day, you want to be able to look at your kids like straight in the eyes and be proud of the way that you have put them ahead or in front of, above everything and every of your decisions that you took, right? So I'm gonna CB, you're back in the studio, but I had a question for you. So this woman is asking, what would you do in my shoe? She has left that house, but she's being pressured by her family to return. And it's always a possibility, maybe to take her kid back to her mom and have peace in that marriage or move on. What would you advise to her?
Oh my God. Oh my God. You see, this right here is the problem. Families pressuring their daughters to go into a marriage that she's obviously miserable. I mean, if she wasn't miserable, she wouldn't have left. No, she has left now. This is the problem. I think it gets to a stage in your life where you know that something is right for you and something is not right for you. Just make your decision and move on. She left. No matter the pressure, she shouldn't go back because at the end of the day, she's the one in that marriage, not her family members that are pressuring her. And I don't even know why they're pressuring her because I'm hearing that the man is broke. How do you Oh my God. How is she supposed
He's
to
not broke, he's hiding
be
his
in that?
money.
It's the same thing, I beg. Rich men don't hide their money. If you're
Amen.
hiding your money, sir, you're broke. Because if you're rich, honey, you're not gonna hide your money.
How can
You're
Jeff
gonna
Bezos
see it.
hide his money, right? Or Elon Musk?
Can you
How can he?
imagine? Even Mark Zuckerberg.
There
Can you
you
imagine?
go.
So
How can he hide
I
his money?
advise, if her baby daddy is a nice person, and then she's working hard and making a decent amount of money, then she shouldn't be in that marriage. Should very well stay single and then select the men that are coming, you know, for relationship. Select them like beans. She should make sure that she choose a man that is going to love her and love that child in return, not someone who is just going to pretend. Because the truth is, human beings pretend. We pretend a lot.
Hmm.
Sometimes it has nothing to do with gender. Even a woman can pretend to love your kid just because she wants to get married to you. A man can
Yeah,
also do the same.
that's
But
exactly what it is.
energies, aura
Hmm.
does, yes,
Hmm.
aura does not lie. When someone cannot pretend for too long, when someone is pretending, you would know, you might not figure it out immediately, but at least before you guys get serious to the point where you're talking about marriage, you should know that this person doesn't like kids. If you want to get married to a single mom or a single dad, I'm sorry, the children, complete package. And then the whole talk of a man raising his children when the baby mama is still alive, that's an insult and an abomination. Or else she's a deadbeat mom. Children should be with their mother while the father should visit. However they want to co-parents, that's it. But I think children should be with their mom. In only rare cases, maybe due to circumstances, she lost her life, she's not alive. And if the man's mom is alive or the lady's mother is alive, the children can stay with grandma, either from daddy's side or mommy's side. But keeping children, fathers are busy, so no, they cannot, fathers can never play the role of a mother, no matter how good they are. They can just try, but they cannot. That's the reason why when some women leave their kids with their husband, the husband will start calling them on to come back home. Oh, these children will not allow me to rest. They've been eating since morning. They scatter the house because they can't do it. It's not it's not in their nature to. That's why I feel like, if a woman is, if for example, if a single father should ask me out and his baby mama is alive and he's saying, hey, you know what, I'm taking full custody of my kids, they'll be with us. Oh, I'm not marrying you. I'm okay with your kids visiting us, yes, coming to spend time with you, but if you want to take the kids from their mother just to punish them, then you are very unreasonable, sir. I will not marry you. I will not, because I kind of feel like people who punish their spouse, whether, I don't care if you're a woman or a man, if you're denying your sorry, not spouse, if you're denying your baby daddy or baby mommy the right to see their child, that means you're evil, you're petty, you don't care about your children's feelings. So if that's the case, whether you're a man or, if you like, even if it's just one child, if the mother is alive, let the child be with the mother. If you try to be petty and you're like, no, I want full custody, I will not marry you. I will not
Okay,
marry you because
thank you, Sibi.
you
But
are
I'm gonna say
unreasonable.
something that I'm gonna say that there are always exceptions, to the rules. And at the moment you marry a single mom or single father, I believe at the end of the day, the well-being of the kids involved are essential, are top priority. And I'm gonna share a little bit about my own case. You know, I have five kids. One of them is my stepchild. And I had this child with me when he was 8. That's when he moved over here from Cameroon. And the mom is very much alive. The reason why we decided to move the child here is because he was having some, first of all, we wanted the child to have a better life. We wanted the child to have better opportunity. And also the child was having a little bit of issue with school. And until today, I thank God. I'm so grateful because when we started there, that it was like I don't think she's gonna let him come when we started the process. But somehow she let him come. And I'm so grateful that she did because when I see the progress that the child has made, because this system was built in such a way that they provide the support that every child needs to succeed. And he received all that support. And today he's almost a man, he's taller than me and stuff like that. But I look at him and I bless God every day that he came here and we were able to help him and give him the help that he needed to become that person that is becoming today. So I would say that it's not always black and white, when it comes to those things. You marry someone who's single, please sometimes forget about yourself, sometimes swallow your pride, look at that child and ask yourself, what is the best for this child? and do the best that you can to ensure the well-being of that child, because it's not really about you, it's about that small human being that needs to grow and become a valuable member of society. Do the best that you can to achieve that with that child. That's all I would say regarding that, CB. So it's not always black and white, and you can always be like, oh no, that child has to be with his mom. That was my little testimony when it comes to that. But I don't know if anyone else wants to add, because today I wanted us to keep it sweet and short. So anyone wants to add something before we call it the day?
But Michelle, a broke man with 3 kids should be single and look for money. He should leave women alone, please. You
Okay.
cannot be single and broke and have 3 kids. No, you can't do that. It's against nature. Go and look for money. Leave women alone. When you gather enough money that you can feed your 3 kids comfortably, feed another woman with her children, then you get married. You both should stop disturbing people. Marriage is not the answer to poverty. Look for work. Work on yourself. This man, can you imagine? The one will be adding her money to take care of his children, and yet he cannot accept her one child. This man has to go and look for work. She should never return to his house. Let him be with his children. Maybe return back to the mother of his children and reconcile. Hmm? So that all of us will have peace.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
Coach
much, Miss
Michelle.
Elise. That, like we will say, jokingly, so that if you're broke, at least be nice. Like men would tell ladies that if you're ugly, at least be nice. So yeah, this man could be a little bit nicer than that. And like you said that here last week, you said the way that someone make their bed is the way that they sleep. So this man could have such a beautiful house if it will just have that change of attitude. This woman is not even complaining about the money that is making. She just want a little bit of acceptance for her son. And if it will do that, now I'm talking to every step parent out there who are mistreating the stepchildren. Remember that the atmosphere that you're creating around you is exactly what you're going to experience. If you give peace, if you give out peace, love, that's exactly what's going to come back to you. But if you give out all those negative vibes, discriminating and unloving vibes, that's exactly what you're going to get. Now your wife has left the house. Now you're going everywhere, gathering family meetings, trying to convince her to come back. And you're not even going about it right, because the only person that you should be talking to is that wife of yours. You should be trying to fix things with her than using the pressure method, using family against her to pressure her to come back to you. No, this is not right. You are not ready for a relationship, and this is so wrong. Please do not waste any single parent time if you're not ready to accept their child. Please let's be better human beings. Let's have the fear of God. Because at the end of the day, you will answer to your creator. And this case that we have in our life, we are just like manager when it comes to the life of this case. They don't belong to us. They came from God. And one day we'll have to answer to God about the way that we treated them. So be mindful of that. Life is spiritual. It doesn't start and finish here. We came from somewhere and we're going back there. And we have to be mindful of our actions and our behaviors, because one day we'll answer to it. Guys, that was my 2 cents. And you, this lady who have left your marriage, or anyone whose kids is not accepted in a relationship, choose your kids. You're doing right. So stand your ground, ignore your family. They don't want you well. They're not going to curse you. Go to church, pray about that, and God will cover you. Because if you don't, they can really do some stuff to you. We know we're Africans. So pray about it, and know that you're doing what is right for your child. And I'm so proud of you for standing up for your child. God bless you for doing that. So guys, thank you so much for being here today. Can we call it the day? Can we?
Yes, you can call it a day. I will back CV up. Every mother that is alive should take care of her child. I'll
Okay.
back her up on that one.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's.
Except for unseen situations, the way you mentioned, those are
Yeah.
exceptional situations where the child has to go abroad and all that. But if you're living in that same Africa, every woman to take care of her child, I beg. Nobody will stress nobody.
Let the church say amen. Guys,
Yeah.
goodbye. Thank you so much for
Thank
being here
you.
today. Thank you for
Bye,
my friend
guys.
Amen.
section. God bless you all. We'll see you next week with another letter from the heart. Bye. Take care.
You also.
Imagine a world where borders are no barriers to love, Welcome to African Abroad Date, a platform for Africans living in the US, Canada, Europe, Australia, and beyond seeking meaningful connections. We've been in the business of love for over 5 years, helping millions find their match. We offer a community where you can search for potential partners based on location, profession, and more. Our profiles are verified, and we provide options to maintain your privacy. Our mission: to help you find lasting love no matter where you are. Sign up today at www.africanabroaddate.com. Bid loneliness goodbye. Let love cross borders, because with African Abroad Date, you're never alone.